now with all the reaction to the brand new episodes of The Last Dance as fans learned new details about Michael Jordan's final season with the Chicago Bulls and one of the most infamous players of all time, Dennis Rodman. TJ Holmes joins us now with more on all of that. Good morning, TJ.
Hey there. Yeah, they took us back to one of the most eccentric personalities we've ever seen in sports, Dennis Rodman, and had you saying, man, that dude was wild, but also, man, that dude was good.
The Last Dance, the record-breaking docuseries about Michael Jordan and the 90s Bulls dynasty, delivered 2 fresh episodes overnight. And it put the spotlight on one of the most provocative and talented players sports has ever seen, Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman. The power forward was a top trend on Twitter as the series focused on his style, his flair, his raw talent, and that infamous Vegas vacation.
I'm looking at Phil like, you ain't gonna get that dude back in 48 hours. I don't care what you say, he's done. Okay, 48 hours. She leaves that room, goes straight to the airport, boom. They don't hear or see Dennis for 48 hours.
Rodman's then-girlfriend, Carmen Electra, says when Rodman didn't come back on time, Jordan showed up to the couple's Vegas hotel room.
There's a knock on the door. It's Michael Jordan, and I hid. I didn't want him to see me like that, so I'm just hiding behind the couch with covers over me. Come on, we gotta get to practice.
Coach Phil Jackson says Rodman was key to the team's success.
Dennis is what held us together.
The series also takes us behind the scenes of Jackson's unconventional coaching style, showing how the team used Jackson's interpretation of Native American spiritualism and Zen Buddhism. Jackson and Jordan together elevated the Bulls, winning the franchise's first championship in 1991, leading to this iconic photo and kicking off their historic 90s run. Jordan recently told Rodman what he remembers most about that final season.
Phil started off the year by saying this is the last dance, and we played it that way. So mentally it just it tugged at you throughout the course of the year. We tried to rejoice and enjoy the year and finish it off the right way.
Director Jason Hare says there's so much more for fans to discover about the person behind the player.
We see him as this iconic figure, a poster on a wall, a statue. So peeling away those layers and showing that there was more to this guy than just a basketball playing machine, that there was an actual human underneath. It was a fascinating trip.
So we had the NFL draft and The Last Dance, both set viewership records, Stray. So wasn't really a bad sports weekend for us.
No, it ended up being all right for us there. TJ gave us something to do. And joining us now to talk more about the show is ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen, what an incredible show. This has been a lot of fun to watch. And Dennis Rodman, he was the focus of part 3 of this series. A lot of people know Dennis Rodman for the wild headlines that he's had since his career, even during his career. But he is a Hall of Famer. This guy, how important was he to the second half of the Bulls dynasty?
Well, he was pivotal. One could easily argue they wouldn't have won the championships without him simply because he was the guy that didn't need the basketball in order to be successful. Matter of fact, most of the time he didn't want it on the offensive end of the floor. He just wasn't that kind of guy. He was an elite defensive player, without question, one of the greatest defensive players in NBA history and one of the greatest rebounders in NBA history. And as he articulated on numerous occasions last night, he loved doing all the dirty work. And that's what enabled Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen to do the things that they did.
I love it that he said, you know what, I figured out what I could do best to really help this team. Now, the director of the series said that Michael Jordan was worried about how he would be perceived by the public because he was tough on his teammates. He wanted the best out of them as well. So how do you think Jordan's been being seen so far in this series?
Well, in my estimation, he's being perceived as the champion that he was. He was a 6-time champion, 6-time NBA Finals MVP, the greatest player that ever played as far as I'm concerned. But when you're trying to be a champion, you're not interested in pleasantries and you're not interested in befriending people at the expense of winning. Winning is first and foremost in everybody's mind. It's about getting that done. You do that first. And Jordan was trying to catch and eclipse Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, etc. And he wasn't trying to take any prisoners along the way. As he articulated, it really really weighed on him before he had ever captured his first championship, that he was a guy that was seen as an elite player and scorer, but somebody who couldn't get people over the hump. Obviously, that wasn't the case after he captured 5 championships and was en route to 6 in that last season. Some would argue the only thing that possibly made him look bad was him attacking the Detroit Pistons the way that he did. Obviously, the bad boys really rubbed him the wrong way. He hated them. They hated the Chicago Bulls. They were the big bullies on the block. But the flip side is, everybody forget, and the documentary didn't highlight how the day before they had swept the Pistons was when Michael Jordan called the Pistons, bad champions, bad for basketball. So those kind of things weren't really shown. It was just a walk-off on Isaiah Thomas Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. But that's the only thing that's really debatable. I think he looks great in the documentary, personally.
Well, Stephen, we appreciate you, man, and your insight as always. We'll see you on ESPN, my friend.
All right, my buddy.
All right, you can see the next 2 episodes of The Last Dance Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, and they will be available outside the U.S. on Netflix. And in our next hour, Scott Burrell, a member of that legendary Bulls championship team, he is going to join us live.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.